To be passionate is to be bad. In one way or another, you've probably heard this question posed before. What is the meaning of life? Whether it be in movies, TV, books, songs, basements at 2 a.m. with your friends, or in your own head, chances are you've at least played around with this conundrum. It's a question that's been asked for hundreds, if not thousands of years, and one that you can find a million different answers to. Some point to religion, to faith. Some point to family. Some point to nothing at all. I point to passion. I believe passion is what we humans are put on this planet to experience. And I also believe that to be passionate about something is to be bad at something. At least, at first. To be clear, I don't think that having a passion means that you're bad, or that passion is inherently bad. Nothing like that. I just think that being passionate about something and being bad at something were at one point synonymous, even for the greats. There was a time, at some point, that LeBron James wasn't the best basketball player in the world, that Streisand wasn't a Broadway legend, that Tom Brady didn't have the GOAT title, hell, that T Swift didn't sell 1 billion tickets. There was a time that they were passionate about something that they were bad at least relatively. And I think that's beautiful. Putting those 4 outliers aside, I think it is so admirable to try despite not finding immediate success. I find it so immensely impressive when someone can overcome obstacles or find ways to improve regardless of where the finish line is set for that person. I find it freaking awesome when someone remains passionate about something in the face of failure, purely for the love of the game, for the love of that passion. I just really love when people try. Especially people that don't end up like those 4 examples from earlier. I'll acknowledge that it's probably easier to try when you're really, really good, but I digress. Passion is cool. Caring enough to dive in and be an expert in something, or become very good at something, or at least want to be very good, is the most human thing that you can do. Every hyperfixation is just an opportunity to care for something, to love something or someone, enough to long to be good at it. And most things that people are good at, they started pretty bad at. I think a lot of today's culture celebrates a nonchalant, I don't care attitude about things, and I don't know. I think it's silly. I think it's boring to not care and to be indifferent towards life as a whole. It just feels like such a bad trade. Acting like nothing's cool so that other people think that you're uninterested in what's happening in the moment. Like, what am I missing here? It's why I got so excited hearing Timothée Chalamet's acceptance speech a little while back, where he spoke about his pursuit of greatness. I wish more people would admit that they want to be great, that they want to put in the effort and try for their passions, even if they don't end up getting there. I mean, hell, it's why little kids that play quarterback wear number 12 for Tom Brady. They want to be him one day. Unfortunately, I think that effort and that drive can be mistaken for a brazenness or an arrogance. Like, how could a young or inexperienced or bad person ever think they could compare themselves to so-and-so? But I think that's naive, and I think that misses the point. There's a difference in saying, I want to be as good as, and I am as good as. One is a dream or a goal, and one is a bit arrogant and misguided. Either way, the only way to make absolute certain that you don't get to the finish line is by taking yourself out of the race, by not trying, by not being passionate. Speaking of not getting to the finish line, let's talk failure and why it's a dumb thing to be scared of. I was, and oftentimes still am, terrified to fail. I thought that if I fail, it must mean that I am bad, or dumb, or not talented, or not deserving, or less of a person. How dramatic. In baseball, for example, the best hitters in the world don't get a hit, aka fail, more than 60% of the time. The best shooters in basketball, on average, fail about half of the time. Could you imagine if they thought that they were bad every time they failed, rather than trying to learn, or just by moving on from that? I think a lot less people would be going to baseball games. Failure is something that should be daunting, but celebrated. Failure should be respected, but welcomed when it inevitably comes. For without failure, there is no opportunity for real growth or real understanding. Failure is almost a cheat code. It's the answer sheet to improvement. It's inevitable. Whether or not it's a tool or a hindrance is entirely up to how you view it. So welcome it. Learn from it. Failure does not make you bad or dumb or not talented. It just makes you human and means you can improve, just like everyone else. Obviously, there are levels to being bad that vary from person to person and expectation to expectation. And there are a lot of passions that would have a very subjective way of measuring what good is anyway. But I hope that I've been able to drive my point home in a somewhat cohesive manner. It ought to be cool to try. It ought to be cool to care. It ought to be cool to say something like, I was awful when I first tried this, but now it's easy. It ought to be cool to be bad at something you care about, because being passionate is what we're all here to be. So be bad, be passionate, be human. They're all the same thing anyways. Thank you so much for watching.